The Mayo Experience.
Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience. Happy Thanksgiving to all the American viewers and listeners out there. If you want to get some Thanksgiving bucks, all you got to do is smash the like button for the episode, leave your DraftKings handle in the comment section, and in honor of Tim's free money Thanksgiving teaser, you give us your best Thanksgiving teaser featuring all three games in the comment section, and boom, you're in a draw for 20 DK bucks. However, if you want to get into a draw for 60 DK bucks, and there are multiple winners of this, subscribe to the Pat Mayo Experience audio podcast, download the episodes, leave a 5-star review, DraftKings handle, something you like about the show, boom, you'll be in that draw for 60 DK bucks, multiple winners as well. It's fantastic. Super easy to do. If you want to play in the Pat Mayo Experience DraftKings Open, the link is in the description of this video and podcast. Jeffrey, some news off the top.
Let's go.
You ready for this?
Yeah, let's go.
There are going to be 2 shows with us this week. One focusing only on the Thanksgiving games, and then another one that will come out at 12:31. The moment that the Lions and Bears kick off is going to be when the other show for the weekend gets released, and then the DraftKings show for the main slate will be after that. What do you think?
I'll be in the same shirt.
So will I.
Okay.
And so will Tim. From his dad's couch.
Andre the Giant.
Oh, is this Ryan Patterson? No, it's not even Ryan Patterson walking into studio. I thought it was. I was like, wow, what a surprise. It's not. We just have guests in studio now. It's good news. The coin is here. He is the 3rd member of the team. Paul Shaughnessy is behind the camera. He is the 4th member of the team. And the 5th member of the team, who has been described as Dr. Doom, but knowing nothing about science, Tim Undercust.
Tim Undercust.
That is not my name.
Have you been described that way?
Recently, but I disagree with that assumption.
Records from last week. Geoff, you and I were both 7-7. I retained my 1-game lead overall.
Shouldn't we hold this for the second show?
Why? This is the first show that people are going to watch, and this is about last week. So nice work producing.
Okay.
No, continue. Please tell me how to run my show. I would appreciate that. What other great ideas do you have?
He'd probably prefer no records.
Yeah, Tim was 3-11. He is now closer to the coin than he is to us, because the coin was the big winner of the week at 9-5. Geoff, you won your super lock.
Yes,
Tim and
Jets.
I lost our super locks, and Tim lost his free money teaser once again to improve to an impressive 1-11 for the season. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but you know what? Last year at Thanksgiving, I hit my Thanksgiving Day teaser. Then I hit the Sunday teaser. So this is the time of year that we've seen enough football. We can start putting together white meat, dark meat, and serving all on Thanksgiving.
It's pretty serious sample size.
Yeah,
rocking off of.
He's on a heater, a 1 Thanksgiving Day streak.
Whatever.
Oh, did you see this Papa John's thing? He did that sweaty interview, and then it turned out that Tim went to Papa John's for the first time ever, like 3 days ago.
Well, they just opened one here in the city, and so I had to go.
You had to. They opened up a Papa John's, and you were like, "I gotta go." Like that. This is big news.
As soon as I heard about it, I was like, "Yes, I need to go to there." And it was at first you knew there were going to be deals on because they had just opened up. You're going to get some hot deals, and I did.
It's a pizza shop. Every generic shop has deals.
Yeah, you could.
You probably forbid to have the apps, but I go on my apps, every day is a deal. Every day.
Okay. Anyway, there were door crashers for the store opening, and the pizza was delicious. And they served this garlic spread that you put on the crust, which was actually quite delicious. Anyway, I have very high things to say about that pizza shop. I will be returning.
So we basically anticipate Papa John's just being no locations by this time next year. Is that where we're going?
I have no idea. I just think this Papa John's is gonna thrive because they make good pizza.
Do you think you could get a discount on a franchise right now?
Probably.
I don't know how to contextualize this man, seeing Papa John's, which is probably no different. It's just generic walk-in delivery pizza.
Yeah.
Which is what I love.
No, listen, I love Domino's.
But there's
I love Domino's.
Let's say a Domino's opened up near you, but there had been a previously established Papa John's. You'd be like, man, I need to go to Domino's. No.
Yes, I would.
See, Tim has watched a lot of like college football over the years. He's seen too many Papa John's commercials to not think A, it's amazing, and B, he's got to haul ass and try it.
So, Tim, since we're doing 2 shows this week, do you have a Thanksgiving-centric CUST corner prepared for us later on?
I don't have one in particular, but I was going to lay on the table that Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is the greatest Thanksgiving movie, and that's not up for debate.
Yeah, I think I'd probably have to go with you on that one.
Looking at the picture now.
Is Home Alone's a Thanksgiving movie, right? Or is that a Christmas movie?
Christmas.
That's Christmas?
Some people say Miracle on 34th Street's a Thanksgiving movie because it starts on Thanksgiving, but I think that's nonsense.
I think that's a good take. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, #1 Thanksgiving movie of all time. Except for Thanksgiving. That's not a real movie, so anyway. Let's get into the games. First game on the slate on Thanksgiving Day. Chicago is at the Detroit Lions with no Matt Stafford, a banged-up Jeff Driscoll. But Chicago, bad Chicago, 3-point favorites on the road in Detroit. The over-under in this game is 39. It looks like Big Mitch, he's going to be back under center. He's on a heater, according to Tim. He has 1 win in a row, so he can't be stopped at this point. I don't see why I wouldn't take Detroit in the points here. Like, can you talk me into Chicago, Jeff?
I think Chicago's going to win the game.
Do you? Why?
I think it's going to be really close. Detroit's got a lot of injuries, and they're banged up, and they just lost to Washington. Chicago also sucks, but I could argue this could be a nice little spot for them, for Trubisky to actually look decent.
So 2 things here. The coin is going to take Detroit along with me. But since Daniels and Harrison have both been active for the Lions, they're substantially more difficult to run on. And I think if you're asking Trubisky to drop back and try to win you in this game, if Slay can just shut down Robinson a little bit, like, what are they going to do? This game, it feels like a field goal game anyway. And if I think it's going to be a field goal game, I feel like I'm push at worst. I mean, obviously, I'm always wrong on these things. But if it's going to be a field goal game, just give me the points. Like, Detroit can win a field goal game. It's somewhat shocking that they've been in the lead in all 11 of their games, and they have 3 wins, though. That's not good. I think it might get Matt Patricia fired.
Yeah, like this team has a lot of potential, which is one of the main reasons I keep saying next year, watch out for this team. This is the type of team that, like San Francisco, went from 4-12 to the best team in the conference. Like, things can turn around quickly with some, if with just a slight change and with health, and maybe with some competent coaching. In the case of Detroit, I mean, listen, we've seen the last several weeks that that underdogs in divisional games have not just been covering games, have been winning games. And this is another example of that. I think the Lions are in a great spot. I expect them to cover. I expect them to win. And we're going to tease them all the way up to 10 on the first end of the Thanksgiving Day parlay, the Pilgrim parlay. Hello, Pilgrim. It's time for a parlay. That's John Wayne. As far as you don't know who that is. The Pilgrim parlay. Mister, put the Lions on there. Plus 10.
That is the least manly John Wayne has ever sounded, sir.
Oh, I don't know about that.
It sounds like John. It sounds like if John Wayne was undergoing a prostate exam.
No, I just pulled something in my back.
Nothing I can do for you there, Pilgrim.
Do you need some pills or something?
No, but that caught me off guard.
So you're taking Detroit as well, Tim?
Yes, I am taking the Lions. I like the Lions money line, and I like the Lions to cover the 10 on the teaser.
Do you even need the teaser? Why don't you do it instead of a teaser?
We're going to connect 3 games here, and that's the way we're going to play it.
I think you're confident in all of them, though. I think you should just money line.
I do like the Lions quite a bit in this game. Actually, I have very strong feelings on all 3 sides of these games.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So why do you even need a teaser?
Teaser and a regular 3-game money line parlay.
You could do everything.
You can do it all. Maybe like last year, that no matter which way you tease all 3 of these games, it'll just be a winner.
I would say it's very possible. This game in particular, I do like Chicago. It is hard to imagine them winning a game by, say, more than a touchdown. So that could work. I don't love having to lay points, but I just got to hope the team I think wins will cover a number that is small enough.
Well, if there's a way to lose this game, the Lions will find the way to do it.
The Bears are pretty good too.
Yeah, that's true. Although they did get that greasy win in Denver. Imagine if Denver had won that game, they'd still be alive in the AFC.
Yeah, Denver has managed to lose a lot of games. Denver is another team next year. When we talk about over-unders, that will be undervalued, I think, and the team to pay attention to.
Okay. Next game, Buffalo at Dallas. This is Buffalo's primetime game for 2019. They're 6.5 point.
Actually, kind
Are
of.
you cutting me off? Can I say the spread first? Is that okay with you?
Sorry.
Now that it is Tim's show, please dictate the conversation. I would love to hear it.
They've been flexed into a Saturday 4:00 Eastern game as well. So they'll have like another marquee set.
No, less people will watch it.
Oh, than this. No one will watch more. This will be
No,
the
but
most
you're
watched-
what are you talking about? Like Saturday, December 22nd?
21st, whatever. Oh, yeah, sorry. No,
Yeah,
this,
yeah, yeah.
This will be the most watched non-playoff or Super Bowl game of the year. No doubt about that.
Oh, no, it's Tim's show. Keep going.
Are you giving the spread, the total? Tim's not doing a good job.
If you put them up on the screen so I could read them, I'd happily announce that. So you've got the Buffalo Bills heading into AT&T Stadium. The spread is the Cowboys by 6.5. You have a total of 45. And it's a pretty marquee game. Obviously, it's the biggest regular season game of the year by viewership. This is the NFL's also marquee game of the week, where they deal with in the NFL 100. We talk about this is now 2 Super Bowls in a row. These teams played. It's like the highlighted game of the week, and the Dallas Cowboys are going to crush the Buffalo Bills.
Thank you, Tim.
I really like Buffalo.
Oh, no, Tim didn't ask you.
Oh.
He just went silent. So I don't know what we do next.
I think Geoff should speak for as long as he'd like. Don't pull a muscle.
No, this is the spot. This is their spot. This game is important to them. They haven't gotten to show how good or bad they really are all year. I think this is going to be an incredibly close game. I would consider potentially, because I'm a mental midget, for peace of mind, spending an extra 10 cents and buying it up to 7, but 6.5 still, I will take the Bills. This is going to be like 26-22, 26-24. Good game, close game, really fun game. It is the spot. It is arguably the spot of the season game. The halftime is long. It's like the Super Bowl. There's a show. I know there's been some controversy with
who's
it.
playing?
Well, there was this thing. I don't know what's still happening because I've kind of been out of the loop on it, but someone who was supposed to be playing decided that the Salvation Army didn't give enough to homosexual charities, LGBT charities.
Okay.
And so I don't know, Ellie Goulding?
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, me
I don't
neither.
know who anyone is.
Me neither.
Is Kid Rock playing at halftime at the Detroit game?
No, only the NHL still keeps Kid Rock.
I
in
assume
the
he's
room.
like penciled in for halftime.
Hey, Keith Urban did a great job at the Grey Cup.
Oh, you're just going to go back and start bringing up minor league football again?
Nope, I put my head down and mentioned it. Happy Winnipeg won, though. No, a big spot. It's as big it's a playoff game type audience for the NFL.
Well, this works one of two ways. It's how good do you think Dallas is versus and realistically, how good is Buffalo? If we go by DVOA, Dallas blows out bad teams. And per DVOA, Buffalo is a pretty horrendous team. So I can see where Tim's coming from in the blow, but I'm with you. I think the Bills give them a fight here.
A real fight. And I saw you guys talking again on the Sunday show. Did you end up taking the Hrushka props? This guy clears
No,
it by
we
halftime
did
every
not.
week.
We did not do it because we're idiots.
Yeah. Did Dallas even win this game last year?
They played last year?
They always play in this
played
game.
Washington and won.
Oh,
against
no.
Washington.
I thought you meant when they played the Bills. I was like, I don't think they played the Bills last year.
Because I know that like the Chargers, even in what was like kind of a lost season, got this game at Dallas on a Sunday.
I believe Mark Sanchez started and got hurt very early on last year. Remember, the Redskins were the heavy favorite to win the division at this time last year, and then lost every game down the stretch.
I remember one of the biggest bets that both you and I ever made was Dallas. Carolina +1 at Dallas on Thanksgiving, the year the Cam won MVP.
Can I say something?
No.
I honestly feel like the Monday night game from this past week was like that but I didn't take advantage of it.
Yeah, I didn't go heavy enough on the Ravens.
It was no. I said the Ravens on this show, but like a freaking just play me smacking myself in the face.
You bet on the Rams?
Yes!
Like Tim?
Like a moron.
What are you doing?
I don't want to have this prolonged thing right now, but sometimes
you need to look being like, the Ravens are good, the Rams are bad. That's good enough.
And they're still in this, like their snowball is still going downhill. Harbaugh is too good for spot games to get them everything. But I'm trying to read into the stupid line, and sometimes you just get freaking got. And somebody who I really, 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 really trust just like pushed me in the direction. Listen, I'm going to end up sounding really dumb here.
Okay.
I'm good at that.
Okay.
But sometimes the Sharps aren't nearly all they're cracked up to be. They overrate these points and half points so goddamn much that end up being irrelevant in 92% of these games. And I know, like, we don't pretend to be anyone we're not.
Okay.
We don't pretend to be anybody we're not. And I don't know. I just, you gotta just.
Not even on Halloween?
I just wish I trusted everything that my eyeballs told me. And all year I've been so goddamn anti-Ram, and we'll get into it when we talk about that in the next show. But I really do like the Bills to go back there. I wouldn't be shocked if they win the game.
Ooh, that's interesting. So the biggest key to this game, I think, for the Bills to cover the 6.5, and you might be able to find a 7 out there somewhere else, but the best way that you can get to the Bills defense is to run the ball up the middle, which we know Dallas will want to do. I don't know if they'll do it every single time, but they're going to do it a lot. Probably more than they did against the Patriots, when they probably should have done it more in a bad weather situation. But that just milks the clock. Like, you're not going to get, I think Zeke has 1 rush for over 20 yards all season. But if you can just chip away at 4 a clip, 5 a clip, get the clock moving, you know the Bills, that's going to be their strategy. They'll take like 3 shots downfield, not hit on any of them, and then Josh Allen will just be running around for his life getting first downs. You have to hope this isn't the game where Josh Allen pumpkins. And he hasn't been doing that. He's been really good the last 3 weeks at protecting the ball, although the pick that he threw last week was pretty horrendous. But either way, I think that they keep it close. I think just based on the volume of running from both teams in this game, it's a shorter-ish game, not a lot of big plays. Tre'Davious White can lock down a gimped up Amari Cooper. That's how I see the game going, so I'll take the 6.5. I like Buffalo.
Jerry Jones is digging the grave, eh?
Why?
He's putting the shovel in the ground for his coach.
You see, you say that, but he'll be there for the next 30 years.
No, they'll have to win like two playoff games to keep his job. You could just tell. I know we all read, too many people, self-included, read into his comments, maybe more than they should. But he's no fool. He knows everything he says. He knows the weight of his words after a game. He knows it's all people want to hear from, more so than the coach. He's laying the groundwork to do what it seems like he will finally have to do. And the one thing that annoyed me most about the Twitter on Sunday night were like Cowboy fans acting like they're the only fan base that walks into New England with a more talented roster and loses a game.
Or just gets or just have bad calls go against them. Some of us, that happens to year after year after year. Lucky them.
They only do once every 4 for them.
Exactly. Lucky them.
No, once every 8 to have to go to that place.
Exactly it.
Maybe don't kick irrelevant field goals.
Sure. Yes. No. Absolutely. They deserve to be criticized and things. But
so great though if Dallas had scored the touchdown and therefore had won. You know, Garrett could have said, "That's why I kicked the field goal." Ha ha ha! Like I was almost hoping for that outcome, because that would have been great.
It was 4th and 7.
I know.
It wasn't like it was 4th and 14 or something.
I know. Listen, there's no defense for it.
How many times on a Sunday is 3rd and 7 or 7 yards on an NFL play made?
Stop turning the ball over on special teams against the Patriots and you'll win. Like, that's 2 weeks in a row that stupid turnovers cost, gave free points to the Patriots, and those teams lost the game because of it. Sloppiness. That will do you in.
It just showed like the power of the Cowboys.
But here's the thing though, right? The Bills are not good. Dallas isn't good either. Isn't great, but Dallas has beaten bad teams. The Bills have yet to impress me in any way, shape, or form, except for their one loss against the Patriots, and the Patriots clearly can't score. Like, that's their problem. The Bills really have trouble scoring too. I don't see it. I think Dallas wins it by 2 touchdowns. I like the boys, and we're going to tease them down as the second end of the parlay.
So Dallas, so you're playing a 7-point teaser this week?
Yeah, I am playing a 6-point teaser.
So that means the Lions are not +10, they're +9.
They're +9, and Dallas is -0.5 point.
-0.5 point. So Dallas just to win for the second leg of this teaser.
Dallas hasn't beaten a team with a winning record. I know we could all talk about how bad the Bills are and they're not as good as their record, but they beat up bad teams. They haven't beaten a team with a winning record.
I believe the Eagles had a winning record when they beat them.
Did they?
I don't know about that, Tim.
Well, what are the Eagles now? Like 5-6, and they've lost 2 straight games. So they
Here's
were
the
5.
thing. Most of the football public doesn't consider Buffalo very good. Most people who follow the league acknowledge they're not as good as their record, and everyone is so quick to acknowledge Dallas is probably way better than their record. Dallas gets a chance to show what they got every single week. This is Buffalo's chance. I'm telling you, this is a football game. Into the final minutes.
All right.
I'm taking the points.
I'm taking the points as well.
Outright possible.
So Detroit, see, there should be the Geoff parlay of the week. Detroit, Buffalo money line.
Well, I don't think Detroit's gonna win, but Tim did say to me before we went on air that this parlay was this teaser was easy.
So this is the one that breaks it up?
Maybe.
Hey, he teased against the Bills last week and it blew up in his face. It was the only game he lost. Although I guess the Rams on Sunday night.
And the Packers.
Oh, I didn't realize the Packers were on it.
Oh yeah, it was a bloodletting.
Do you have anything for us for a mini Thanksgiving Cuss Corner?
I think the only thing I had prepared really was the talk about the movie.
What are you doing over there?
And actually, the fact that I think Thanksgiving is an underexplored movie genre. Like Halloween and Christmas have all kinds of movies. In the United States, Thanksgiving is just as big, if not bigger, a holiday than anything but Christmas. And like, there's no movies about it. Like, what's up with that?
Paul,
I understand.
Tim, did you just move like 10 feet away from your computer?
No, I haven't moved an inch.
It sounded like you opened a door. Are you having a cig right now?
I am not.
are you sure? Because
It sounds like you're opening
we can hear you moving
doors.
around.
No, I'm in my recliner.
Well, now it sounds like you're back close to the computer again.
I didn't move.
Geoff?
Yeah, right.
That sounds suspicious.
So you want more Thanksgiving movies?
I do. I think it's an underexplored genre. I think you can make some really good ones.
Like, do we have, how they have those like crappy Valentine's Day, like the movie that's called like Valentine's Day. I think there's like a Christmas version of it where he's got a whole bunch of celebrities
Like
together.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah, like they're all terrible and they're all in the same movie. Like, is there no Thanksgiving version of that?
Like, I'm just putting it into the Google machine right now. They consider Funny People a Thanksgiving movie. I don't know about that. That's a good movie.
Did anything else come up? So there's just 2 Thanksgiving movies?
There's that. There is Paul Blart Mall Cop for some reason. These are all terrible, except for Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Well, I listen, based on you loving network TV shows, I'm shocked you're not a fan of Paul Blart Mall Cop 1, 2, or 3.
Is there a third?
I assume
don't
so.
know.
If there was a second one, there's definitely a third one, even if it was direct to demand.
I just don't. I don't understand why there aren't great movies about the Thanksgiving holiday. It's strange to me.
Do you think you have to have home cooked meals on Thanksgiving?
Have to? No, but it's better. I mean, there are some.
Why is it better? Let's say you were in charge of cooking. Wouldn't I be better off buying the stuff?
No, I would put time and effort into it and cook a great meal.
But you can't
How
cook.
hard could-
You would try to
how-
microwave a turkey.
No. How hard would it be to bake a turkey?
Oh my God.
I mean, you just shove her in the oven and put it on the right temperature per pound. You're good to go.
I
There are
think
YouTube videos.
I will put it this way. Listen, I rented an Airbnb over Christmas time. I can film you trying to cook a turkey.
Sure, let's do that.
Oh boy, this is gonna be.
Let's do that.
Tim's cuisine with Tim as he tries to make all these meals. He says are
I'll make
incredibly
all of
easy.
them. I'll make stuffing. I will make potatoes. I will make sweet potatoes. I'll make the best vegetable at Thanksgiving, which in my opinion is Brussels sprouts. Very underappreciated Thanksgiving. It's the green on your plate, right? A lot of people, although it's weird, I guess there's a part of the United States where salad is a very common side dish at a turkey dinner. That's very strange. I've never seen that. certainly where I can't imagine it. It would just be very strange to have like here's a bowl of like garden salad to go with your turkey. It blows my mind. But you need some green on your plate to go with the potatoes and the gravy and the stuffing and the meat and the carrots.
My plate would be just turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, and biscuits. There'd be nothing green on my
No
plate.
stuffing?
No carrots?
Stuffing's the best part of it.
Yeah, like carrots might come like they're sort of like in like surrounding the turkey.
Well, I know like Levy is out on Thanksgiving, and there's a lot of people out on Thanksgiving because they hate turkey. I, for one, do not
Love
hate
it.
turkey.
I love
I have turkey all the time.
It's
Yeah.
delicious.
Love turkey.
Dark meat's better than white meat, but it's both good. And and like I said, dressing's the best part of the meal if it's inside the bird.
And dessert's great too. Love it all.
And
Wish I was going to some American feast.
Paul?
How's Tim gonna make this this feast all in the microwave?
I don't know.
Like, I don't think you can make Brussels sprouts in the microwave.
I make a Brussels sprout where I boil it quickly and take it out and then cut it in half, and then I fry it so that I blacken it on the bottoms. It's excellent.
You don't have bacon in with your Brussels sprouts? I mean, who likes Brussels sprouts if there's
I
no
like
bacon
the
along
taste.
with them?
I like the strong taste of like the cabbagey Brussels sprout. I think it's delicious. It's amongst, if I were to rank vegetables, it would be very high in the vegetable ranking.
Tim
Really?
being in on Brussels sprouts is probably the least surprising thing I've ever heard.
I know they're pretty healthy.
They are.
Well,
I actually enjoy them, but
And delicious.
I'm much bigger. Jeff, maybe you can speak to this. Roasted Brussels sprouts versus roasted broccoli. I would say it's broccoli.
Broccoli
I
for
love
sure.
broccoli.
With the little like like vinaigrette or something, and then you drizzle it, and then you put it in the oven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe put some garlic on that.
Yeah.
You'll be good to go.
Yeah. Whatever my wife
I'm not
does.
I'm not a roast person for the vegetables. I like to boil them quickly. Blanch them.
Well, we've already established you have no taste buds, so that doesn't surprise me.
No,
do, you
I like to,
do you also prefer boiled potatoes as your favorite kind of potato?
No, I went out to a restaurant a couple weeks ago, and there was this thing they had called a double baked potato. And so what they did, right, was they baked the potato.
Tim, you are not breaking news to anyone listening.
I'd never heard of this.
You are literally like
You're the last person on earth to figure this
I
out.
swear to God, he is like Encino Man. And that is what people think. That is what people think. Oh, Tim, 96% of people listening have been to normal restaurants, have been to, this is like a mid-level steakhouse, right? That like you would get this at like a mid-tier steakhouse
Yeah,
would have
It
this.
was the keg.
I assume Outback has it.
That's what I mean.
Most places have
Tim,
double-
the keg has had that for 50 freaking years.
Well, I have never had this before, and I didn't even I was strongly suggested to get it and try it. It was the best thing I had there all evening. It was delicious.
I think
I
that
love
really,
it.
I think that should really speak to the quality of their steak. By
the
the way,
steak-
I don't mind the keg. No.
no,
Listen.
if he's saying that the potato is better than the steak, then there's a
Oh.
problem with the steak.
The potato was mind blowing. It's like I have never heard of this, and like I'd like to have this again. Like that is the best way to have potato now.
No, I take this back. You could get like this, they would do this for you at like Applebee's
Yeah.
or like Fridays. I take back like mid-level. No,
that's
it's
just
like
where he saw it.
generic
Yeah.
like restaurant with twice baked revelations. Control Alt Delete this guy.
Oh, Paul.
sorry, just one last little thing to add. Tim knows that when he boils whatever vegetables he's gonna have before cooking, he literally just strips it of any sort of nutritional value that
If
he
you
was
boil
actually
it for
gonna get.
long, yes. but
If you
just-
boil any vegetables, you're just literally
for
taking
30
away all
seconds,
nutrients.
45 seconds, no, that's not true.
You
As long
bo-
as they're still firm and crispy, if you only have them in there for like 35 to 40 seconds so that they're hot but they're still firm, you haven't killed all the nutrients.
Okay, I thought you were turning this stuff into mush.
No, of course not. That's awful. That's like old-fashioned cooking. I don't care for that. Just like it's like a blanching, a very quick in that hot boil for 30 to 45 seconds and out.
Two other things. One, Jeff, tell us what you told Tim and I about McDonald's before we came on air. About how you just walked to
No,
the
that
front
you
of the
could
line.
just you order on the app and then they send it the second you pull into the like parking lot. It senses you're like in their range and your order goes to the kitchen. And you park your car and you're like third in line not
Wait.
to place your order to receive your food. Well,
How
it's
does it
like
know you're in
well,
the
it's
parking lot?
like because their Wi-Fi like I just knows.
What do you mean? How
You're
did they
in
know? You have
range.
fucking GPS on your phone, you tool.
Yeah, but how
And
does McDonald's know?
Because they have because you do it through their app.
And then it goes onto their screen, like the guy in the back. See, like it pops up in a queue of all the orders and ahead of anyone in line. And then I walk in, the line is like 7 people deep, and they're all ordering. And I'm like third in queue to get my food.
I hate
Ronald
this.
is watching.
I hate this. You should have to stand in line with everybody else at the same. It's a communal experience. These things should not be segregated according to experience. They should be everybody when they go to a baseball game. Everyone gets rained on.
And you know what? When the Raptors hit 12 threes, I get free French fries on my mobile order.
Everybody should have to. It should be first come, first serve. Whoever gets there first puts their order in, gets served first. That's the way it ought to be. There's something like community building about that type of.
I actually.
But Geoff has technically ordered before these people.
Yes, but I do have one real beef that kind of goes to where Tim's saying, but I think ahead of where he is.
Okay.
In that I'm talking about the mobile ordering through like the restaurant's app, so it goes directly to them.
Okay.
But now you see it like the checkouts at a lot of these places or where you order,
Like
like a fast food.
I order McDonald's off of Uber Eats,
Okay.
and they just deliver it to me.
So now I'm going to say this, because these are the people I have the beef with.
Okay.
I'm in line when I am standing in line like a normal human, or you see,
Why would you stand in line when you can just use that machine that's there, and then you don't have to wait in the line?
here's the thing.
Machine doesn't let you customize
Is it
the way I
good?
want.
Yeah,
Well,
you're
sometimes
too fancy with your order at McDonald's and
No.
you can't register
Do
it.
you want to know something? I don't want to. We have to go there now?
Yeah, let's do this.
God damn it. Sometimes I need like extreme customization. And what I mean by that is I love the genericness of just a normal McDonald's cheeseburger on those, like, literally it's like cake, those buns. Now McDonald's in this new thing that their burgers are hotter and fresher.
Oh, don't
And
get
I personally love a coagulated, I'm not talking about like a deep quag, but like a good half-hour quag on a Duke's cheeseburger.
Yes.
Holy shit. That
Agreed.
is the most right thing in the world.
Agreed.
Sorry. We all got our happy places, bro.
And that's one of them?
I'm with
So
Geoff.
now
100%.
they do this hotter, fresher thing and they like cook it like with onions. I don't like onions. I like
Onions don't taste like anything.
Okay,
by the way.
hold on.
Yes,
I
they do.
like
No, they
I
don't. They
like-
enhance the flavor of
Sorry,
whatever else you're
I
eating.
want to finish what I'm saying. Like, if my wife is cooking, like, you can like cook with onions, but I don't want like onions on my like a topping or
Okay.
something. Or if it's in a dish, I'm happy to like keep it because I do know it does add flavor to the sauces and the dishes, and I'm pro flavor. But they put these like little chopped onions now that aren't like onions like with the order. Like you could say I just want a plain cheeseburger, but the burgers now still have these like little bits of onion in them because that's how they're cooking them. And I don't like that. And it really annoys me. And that
but they
little
always
Duke's
have the
cheeseburger was my
Tim's
happy.
trying to talk over you.
That little Duke's cheeseburger was my happy place, and they ruined it.
I thought they always had the little onions on them.
No, that's
Oh.
just a normal topping. Hopefully people understand what I'm saying. But if you look into how they're now cooking their hamburgers, I'm not into hot or fresher.
So,
I'm not either. Agreed.
You
I'm on-
made me go down this goddamn rabbit hole.
So
When my original complaint was, I don't like when I'm in line and the Uber button goes off, beep goes off, and she now is stopping serving the customer directly in front of her and inputting your order.
Yeah, because I've already ordered. You haven't.
No, it's
So my-
beeping. It hasn't gone in yet.
No, because I have pressed
No,
send.
it's gone in through
I've-
their intermediary, the third
I have,
party
from
vendor.
my phone, I've already ordered. So I'm up next.
Uber has, you have given Uber your order. Uber is now relaying your order to McDonald's.
Correct.
I'm in McDonald's.
I don't care.
Correct.
I'm at home. So in this situation, you're the sucker.
I know. I'm not debating
No,
who's the sucker. I'm just
you're being
saying I don't
smart.
like it. They should serve the people there before they acknowledge
No.
people who aren't there.
No, absolutely not.
If I ran a fast food chain, there'd be none of this. You come in, you stand in line, you order, you get served in the
He would-
order in which you order.
He'd be
how
out
it-
of business because the rest of the fast foods are taking the Uber money, despite Uber, taking their 20 or 30%, but it's
There's
still
a lot
like
of people who would say that's the way I like a business run right there, and I will patronize that business because I respect that business.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot when giant corporations come into small towns and put everyone else out of business because people are very loyal to the places that they go and keep them in business. Tim.
I believe in loyalty.
On a totally separate food.
One sec. No, I have a food thing about onions. So we have a friend. He's 34 years old. He still lives at home.
Tim?
No, it's not Tim. And his mom makes like tacos for the family.
Taco night, love it.
Taco night. Taco night is fantastic, but she cooks the ground beef with chopped up onions in it. But he doesn't eat vegetables. If vegetable is on his plate, he won't eat his meal. He's 34. And so they pile everything in. Like they cook the ground beef with the onions in it, and then his mom goes through and takes all the onions out for his ground beef. How awesome is that? What service? You wouldn't get that kind of service at Tim's fast food restaurant.
No, here's I don't know. See, I went on my thing that I'm anti-onion, but someone who's making like a true homemade like burger patty, I know the onions got to be in there, and you don't even taste them. These little Duke's ones, I'm telling you. And I'm not talking about the onions that like when you order onions on your hamburger.
No, people understand what you're talking
Okay,
about. You're just like arguing with Tim, who's a maniac.
No, I just wanted to circle back to Jeff's point that sometimes he needs extreme customization.
Okay.
So what's your most customizable thing when you go to a fast food place?
Yeah, Jeff, what's the extreme
I
customization?
just told you. I don't.
He just told us. I was asking you.
That I don't want like even the onion pressed in on like the grill.
I like my hamburger done like a Mac sometimes.
No.
That's not extreme. That's
you can order that off the machine,
dude.
No,
that is an option.
Okay,
yes, it is.
Yes, you 100% can. And literally, have you ever?
You could. They've taken that functionality out of the terminals now. They have.
Tim, the last time we talked, you said you couldn't figure out how to use the terminal.
No, I guarantee you on the app, I could add like Mac sauce to a regular.
I'm not saying the app. I'm saying the terminal inside the restaurant.
The restaurant?
Anyway, again, this is much like his Twice Baked. He's like this revelation where you know how many times
I also like to add pickles on the junior chicken, and you can't do that on the terminal. You have to ask in person.
I'm pretty anti-pickle.
Oh, pickles are delicious. Good for you too.
Are they good for you?
They've got to be. They're vegetable.
Is this just like your thing when you say that like Diet Coke is good for you?
Yeah, it's all a sliding scale.
So
so
things that are not good for you on your sliding scale are now good for you?
I'm just saying I like them. I think they're good. I guess my customization isn't as extreme. I don't demand fresh fries every time I go through the drive.
That is the sneaky best thing that you can do.
You say no salt. You say well done. You just put a twist on it.
We have another friend who demands fresh fries every time that it goes through, and I'm not going to lie to you. His fries, always fresh, way crispier, way better.
It really depends on the situation.
You don't want the soggy fry.
It depends on... I walk into McDonald's and it's barren. I know I got to maybe make an instruction. No salt. Well done.
In high volume times.
In a high volume time, you see that fryer's going, you know you're going to get
Sure, but you don't know that at the drive-thru.
Fair enough. There's nothing I like more than being in line at Duke's and seeing a guy in front of me order 2 supersized fries. Clear out that tray, buddy. Sorry, man. Fat guy takes. What do you want from me?
You get fresh fries, though. They make you wait. You have to park one of those parking spots. And wait
because they're making you fresh fries.
They're making you fresh fries. And what are you waiting? Like 200 seconds?
It really annoys me when I have to wait and get out of line.
Okay, hold on. So your take around all of this is you don't think you should be able to order from the app, that you have to stand in line to get your order, but you refuse to wait for your order at any time.
No, I don't mind waiting. I just don't like the person behind me who ordered after me getting theirs before I get mine. I order first, I get mine first. That's the way it should work. Yeah, I don't care if I have to wait there for 10 minutes. The person behind me will just have to wait because I can't.
That is literally crazy. Like if you order something that they're just still making and someone else's is ready because there's like 4 people back there, doesn't take all 4 of them to make your mac sauce hamburger, dude.
I know, but sometimes it takes a while. Paul wants to say something.
Paul?
So wait a second. So you order a Big Mac meal. The guy behind you orders a coffee. You're saying that you need to get your food before that guy's coffee? It takes them 2 seconds to make a coffee.
But I ordered first.
But here's the thing. They also literally
customer.
at the modern McDonald's, they have a woman like working the coffee.
It can be a man.
So No, you're absolutely right. No, I take that back. They have like somebody working that area. It's not even involved in the back, just to make sure everything is
But
going.
I ordered first, Jeff. Me.
I don't really care at the
millennial.
counter inside, but I care at the drive-thru.
I've been meaning to ask you,
Me.
and I meant to do this off air because it's so irrelevant. But if you hit up that new Summerhill up the street from you,
No, I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what a Summerhill is.
Yeah, I don't know what a Summerhill is either.
it's a little like market that's like in my neighborhood that I like. I saw that.
Your neighborhood is a good 20-minute drive from me.
But it's up the street from you. They built one right beside your house now, I feel, or where you live.
Really? I haven't noticed this. It's been cold, so I haven't been walking around as much. And I rarely go north from my front door. I always go south.
Okay, but it's like a block and a half north.
Like up by Casa Loma? Like Casa Loma
it's
is a block
before that.
before that.
I might have a different
I
street. then.
don't think that this is by me.
Okay, I might have just a different street. I'm sorry. Let's return to regular scheduled shit.
All right, back to football. Football Thanksgiving night game. Nolans is at Atlanta. Atlanta is a 6.5 point dog at home. The over-under is 49 in this game. These teams played 2 weeks ago. Atlanta thumped them. And then Atlanta 3 weeks ago. And then Atlanta thumped Carolina in Carolina. Then they got thumped by Tampa at home. So really confused about Atlanta at this point. As of right now, it appears like Austin Hooper will definitely be out. I don't think that Julio is going to play. He hasn't practiced yet this week with the shoulder problem that he sustained last weekend. But it does appear like Devonta Freeman's going to come back, which doesn't really matter because he's no good. So, and Marshawn Lattimore appears like he may miss the game for the Saints as well. And their defense has looked a lot worse without him.
Tim literally spent all of December lamenting how Atlanta didn't win this game last year.
Yes, I remember.
I know they were in the red zone a bunch and couldn't convert like a bunch of.
They were
fourth and
also
shorts.
horrible. That's what bad teams do.
And I suspect Tim will die on the hill of Atlanta again today. And had Atlanta not snuck one in on these guys a couple weeks ago, I maybe could have bought that on the short week. This would be their Super Bowl because the season is dead. It's a Thursday night on Thanksgiving. But they are going to get punked hard, Saints.
Coin likes the Saints as well. Tim, do you still love Atlanta?
Yeah, I like the Falcons in this game, and I like teasing them up. Look, the Saints have looked sort of wonky the last few weeks, including a game they should have lost to Carolina on Sunday. They haven't looked quite themselves. And like I said in the Detroit and Chicago game, you give me this many points in an interdivisional game, I think the value is on the dog, particularly the home dog. The Saints probably win the game, but I don't think they cover the number. I think it's a 27-24 type of affair. So we'll tease the Falcons up, and we'll take the Falcons against the number.
So one number that I did say, I think it's over the past 6 years maybe it's over the past 10 years that on Thanksgiving favorites of over 6 points are like 13-3 ATS.
Makes sense.
I see it.
Better teams on the short week generally just pound. And obviously I went against Dallas, who's more than a 6 point favorite, because I think that their line is a bit more inflated because they're Dallas. And they might be mentally crippled after Sunday too. Like it might take them a few weeks to get over that. And Buffalo's not good, but they're just kind of on cruise control.
Yeah,
If they show up and play their game, they've been doing fine.
And Dallas, they've got bigger fish to fry.
So I'm going to stick it with New Orleans here. Yeah, it's weird. Their offense hasn't looked bad at all. Their offense has been really stally. Like it's either scoring points immediately or they're just going 3 and out. It's really bizarre. And
It looks like the old Saints. It looks like the old Saints that couldn't play a lick of defense and had to score 40 points a game to win, which is disconcerting.
It is.
But
And
New Orleans is getting healthier and Atlanta's getting a lot of injury problems again, in my opinion.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, but as long as number 2 is back there, that he can cover up some problems.
His best skill will be backdooring you your teaser.
Did last year.
no, he did. They didn't cover the teaser last year.
Yes, they
No,
did.
yeah, they had to because
Did they?
everything covered.
I had
Remember?
Falcons.
Oh, yeah, that's
They
right.
won.
Yeah, I believe it was
Yeah,
teased up
teaser
to like
covered
20.
on both sides.
They probably should have
Last
won. I mean, I don't know.
Last year, they literally lost by like 17 points.
Yeah.
It was like 31-17 or something. And the
They
Falcons
were on the Saints side of the field the whole. It was very like Chargers-esque.
Yeah, but when you're a bad team, you can do that.
100%.
That's what bad teams do generally.
ab-
when you're a functional bad team,
Yep.
like Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta appears to be better than they were like Was it a 1 week blip for Tampa or for Atlanta against Tampa that their defense didn't really look kind of shut down? Because they had been looking shut down for the previous 2 weeks against, I mean, Tampa's a good offense, but so was Carolina, so were the Saints.
Atlanta's season was dog, and they had a bye week, and they just came out rejuvenated and punched a couple division opponents in the face, but they're going to be back to dog. That like firecracker, what do you call it? The sparkler, it's over. This is like they had a spark. Spark's done.
Oh, when they held up their thing, it's now out and there's no more left?
Yeah, there's
You're waving it around too much?
There is no more left. They're going to get got. It's now becomes a revenge game for the ass whipping they laid on this team a couple weeks ago. So, New Orleans.
I'm going to take New Orleans minus 6.5. I don't feel good about it, only because I kind of agree with Tim that this defense has been bad. Because they're down guys. Like, they need to get their guys back in order for them to, like, when I said that they were the best team in the NFC, I think that if they're healthy on defense, that they're sort of like the Chiefs, that they need to get healthy, and they have time to do that.
What have you seen from the Saints that you think that they could go up against the 49ers and beat them? I haven't seen them.
I mean, I think that their defense is particularly good. They have an offensive line that can slow down the best thing that the 49ers do.
Maybe in January, by then that'll be true. Right now, the 49ers would flatten them.
Well, this isn't when the Super Bowl is played, Tim. That's 3 months from now.
No, but if you asked Rodgers, he was asked last week if he wanted to win this week or in the playoffs. He's like, well, we have to win in San Francisco eventually. I'd rather just win this week, which was, of course, was a terrible answer because, you'd rather win in the playoffs.
I don't understand what your point is.
My point is I think the Niners are a cut above the Saints at their best. And we've seen that.
No, not at all.
I think all your work cut out for you to argue that the Saints are in the same league as the Niners are right now.
When healthy, I think they're
even when
there.
healthy. Even when healthy, I don't think so. Niners.
I just look at how the Saints match up with the 49ers. And again, I can be completely off base with this, but when you have Lattimore back in, the pass defense is a lot better. When you have a full complement of pass rushers, you can get to the quarterback. The offensive line is realistically what separates the Saints from a lot of these teams, is that they have the best. It's like if the Steelers were actually good, like their offensive line is incredible. The Saints' offensive line is incredible. The 49ers' offensive line is not. And also, you have Drew Brees, who's looking a bit shaky after this hand injury. Still way better than Jimmy Garoppolo. And if we're going to say that Kyle Shanahan is probably going to win Coach of the Year, and he's like a top 10, top 5 coach in football, so is Sean Payton. So I don't think that there's like a wash at coaching. The defensive line for the Niners is better. I think that the rest of the defense could go to the Saints. The offensive line is better, and they have the better quarterback.
Well, they play in a couple of weeks, and the Niners will be favored by more than a field goal.
That's fine. It's also not a playoff game, Tim.
No, but it essentially means that if they win the game, they have thrown the Saints out of the Saints are not going on the road in the playoffs and winning a playoff game. If they are in the Superdome, they're cooked. They're not going to San Francisco. So it is a playoff game in a lot of ways because the Saints need it desperately.
I think the Saints can win outdoors in the playoffs.
I got my doubts.
Well, you just said they wouldn't. You just said that they wouldn't, so it's not even that you have your doubts. The answer is no for you.
When was the last time they went outdoors and won a playoff game?
When was the last time they had to go outdoors to win a playoff game? I'd be curious.
At Seattle 3 or 4 years ago and lost.
So they lost to the team that went to the Super Bowl.
I'm trying to think if they've been outside.
Wait. Are you talking about the Marshawn Lynch game?
No. 2 or 3 years later in the divisional round, they had to go to Seattle and they lost.
Was that the year that Seattle won the Super Bowl?
I don't think so. I think that's the year that
they lost to the Pats.
Yeah. Now I can't recall whether
either way, the Saints are a viable contender in the NFC if their defense is running at full speed, which this week they are not. But almost like the Chiefs, if they can get their offensive line healthy and their skill guys healthy, they're a completely different team and dangerous once the playoffs actually start. I think if the defense is healthy, that they can go on the road. And we're still seeing, we don't see 100% Brees right now. Do you think that we do?
No, not at all.
Like they went on the road against Minnesota and lost there. That's another road loss.
Whose fault was that, Tim?
The defensive back for taking a terrible angle?
Not you gloating that you predicted the score exactly and then gloated about it only to see a miracle play happen with no time left?
I take no responsibility.
It was the most Anderkirst thing of 2 years ago.
Well, thankfully, 2019 doesn't really have anything. So
no. There's nothing in 2019 that would be. So there's so many things people can't agree what the top 5 biggest curses of the year are.
I don't agree with that.
I mean, you did both. I think the sneaky underrated one here, Geoff, is him because I don't really follow the NHL, but him,
Tampa?
him picking Tampa and the Flames to play in the Stanley Cup, and they both got swept in the first round.
Tampa getting swept was quite remarkable, yeah.
They were up 3-0. I thought it was over in that first game. Wow. They lost every game. It was
every
crazy.
sport he got. Nationals.
Yeah, Nationals can't win the World Series. Chance. Impossible. So yeah, bad year for you in big spots. But you like Atlanta here, plus 6.5?
I mean, he fucking
I like the Falcons. I don't like the Saints nearly as much as you guys do. I'm looking forward to picking on them in January. I just think going into Lambeau or going into San Francisco, they're dead ducks.
Here's the thing. Green Bay might not be good at all.
Then going into Minnesota, I think they're a dead duck.
But you hate Minnesota. You think both those teams are bad then?
Yeah, but Minnesota's at least a physical team. Exactly the type of team the Saints don't want to play, too. Like I think the Saints
are they that physical? They have no pass defense and can barely pass the run. The only guy that's any good on their defense right now, at least getting to the quarterback, is Anthony Barr, who the Jets could have had. But you cursed him out of going.
I didn't ever wanted him anyway. But I think the Saints are profoundly flawed. I'm looking forward to seeing that in the postseason.
All right, that will do it on the Pat Mayo Experience Thanksgiving Day special. Tim, would you like to repeat? Does anyone have their super lock from this slate of games? Because I do not.
No, I do not.
No, but I'll have real money on the Bills.
Okay.
I'll bet the Bills.
Tim, recap your teaser for us, please.
Sure. The Duke in his Pilgrim Parlay likes the Detroit Lions, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Atlanta Falcons, partner.
That's a 6-point teaser. So the Lions plus 9, Dallas just to win, Atlanta plus 12.5. Geoff, which one blows it for him? I hope it's Dallas. Because I just hope the Bills beat the Cowboys.
I'm on the different side of all three games, so I look forward to that one.
Maybe you can both win. Maybe you can tease it the other way and you two could be a winner.
I won't be teasing it, but I don't anticipate he wins.
You should wear your EJ Manuel jersey out to watch the Bills game.
I gave that to Gabe.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I never actually wore it, and then I gave it to Gabe because I thought he'd enjoy it. As a Bills fan.
Fair enough. I didn't know that.
I don't know whether he's ever worn it or not now that he lives in a different country, but I have no idea. Anyway, tune back in on Thursday for the rest of the slate, and don't be afraid to leave a review. I want to thank Geoff. I want to thank Paul and the coin, along with Tim and CUST.
Tim and CUST.
Not my name.
Heard it was.
Or it wasn't.
No, I'm pretty sure it is. Pretty sure I've heard that.
Pretty sure you haven't.
I don't know. It sounds like you're lying.
No. Truth.
I think Tim's fake news. Anyway, you can find the cheat sheet up on my Facebook page. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at the PME if you want to get into a draw for $60 DK. Subscribe, download, rate, review 5 stars. DraftKings handle something you like the show, something you like about the show for the audio podcast, or if you want to get into the video draw for 20 DK bucks, smash the like button for the episode. Leave your DraftKings handle in the comment section and give us your 3-game teaser for the Thanksgiving slate. Thank you all for watching. Have a safe Thanksgiving. I'll see you next time.
Mayo Experience! Experience!